Hello students, so this is the last part of the third chapter, that is in the earlier cities, and we'll study only one topic which is left for this chapter in this video. So let's begin. The mystery of the end. So around 3900 years ago, people stopped, or you say there were a big major change in the society. People stopped living in many of the cities. Like everything has vanished, or you can say everything has destroyed. People stopped living in the cities, they stopped building the same houses they used to build. The writing seals, or those weights which I have showed you in the previous videos, weights, those weights were no longer used, and the people used to bring raw material from the long distances. They also stopped bringing those wrong materials. And in Mohenjo-daro, the we find that the garbage piled up on the streets, the drainage system was broken, and the new houses were built which were very less impressive. Like the they were not like the previous houses which were built with a very good design and very good architecture. So everything everything destroyed, and we don't know even the reason why this all happened, and we are not sure about the reasons, but some scholars has said that the people who used to live in the Mohenjo-daro, maybe the rivers there got dried up, and some suggest that there was deforestation due to this. These all happened, and there were many reasons, but there is not a proper reason, or you say a verified reason, so that we can say that due to this reason this all destruction has happened. So reason is unknown till now. And some has said that the people who graze their large herd of cattle, sheep, and goat, they may have destroyed the green cover, like all the green area they have destroyed by grazing. And some says that there were floods, but there is not a particular reason. And it also appears that the rulers which used to rule there has lost their control on the people or on their citizens, and sites in the Sindh and West Punjab were abandoned while many people moved into newer, smaller settlements to the east and the south. People moved from the Mohenjo-daro sites, or you say the Sindh and West Punjab sites, from new places. These places were abandoned. Nobody lives there, and they all have moved to newer places with the newest settlements. New cities were emerged about 1400 years ago. Like these old cities have destroyed, and the new cities were emerged. And that was all the mystery. So nobody knows why this end happened, but this happened in Mohenjo-daro. So next is find Egypt in your atlas. Most of the Egypt is a dry desert except for the lands along the river Nile. So around 500 years ago, kings ruled over Egypt. Like there were kings, various kings of Egypt, and they used to rule there around 5,000 years ago. Their armies were sent to distant lands to get precious stones, gold, silver, timber, and whatever they want. And they also built very large, huge tombs, which they called pyramids. And you must have heard about pyramids. And like when the king died, the bodies of the king were preserved in the pyramids, and they were buried. And these preserved bodies were called mummies, and they were like covered with a white plaster, or you say white cloth, and then they were buried in the pyramids, and these buried bodies are called mummies. And a large number of various things were buried with them, like the king's food, the king's drinks, king's clothes, ornaments, utensils, like king musical instruments which king used to like, or weapons which kings had used, and some animals were also buried with all the other things. So, and sometimes even serving men and women were buried with the rulers, like they were buried alive with the rulers. And these are amongst the most elaborate burials known in the world history. I have told you about what are burials. Like in Mehergarh, we have studied about burial, how the people used to bury it with the goats. So this is also a kind of burial, or you say very famous burials, which is known in the world history. And that's all for this chapter. So thank you. I'll meet you in the next chapter, that is chapter 4th. So thank you so much. Keep watching.